With us now, the criminal defense attorney, Brian Claypool. You know, Brian, I look at this and I think back to Bernie Madoff, and Bernie Madoff did lie to his investors. And SBF, his whole thing is he's going to say, look, I didn't lie to anybody. I just kind of was the benefactor of bad luck.
Yeah, hey, Trace, great to be back with you. Before I comment on that, 4 of these 8 charges were conspiracy to commit securities fraud, commodities fraud. Why is that important? Right. A conspiracy requires 2 people to form an agreement to commit the fraud. Why is that important? Because the feds, the U.S. prosecutors, they already know who the other person is on the 4 of these counts. So I expect further indictments. In fact, the prosecutor came out and said, Trace, if you know you were involved in this, come to us before we come to you. That's critical. And look, in terms of any defense that he's got in this case, look, he's got to argue that I may have misled investors, but I didn't intentionally lie about it, because that's what's required. He's going to have to lie to deceive them. And then, look, he's going to argue that these were 90, most of them private equity groups. Right. These are more intelligent investors, and they had their own due diligence to look into the integrity of this investment, and how did they miss it? That's going to be his defense.
And I got to go, Brian, but, you know, they're going to fight extradition, the lawyers for SBF. Should they? Should they work to fight, maybe sneak a deal in there somewhere?
Trace, I think the bigger issue is extradition hearing is moved to February 8th because the Bahaman government said they are going to investigate whether crimes were committed on their turf. So who knows? They may want to charge him with a crime as well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people saying, listen, you got all that money coming from the U.S. and the Bahamas, and this is going to happen again because the regulations down there are all not that secure. Brian, Ren, gentlemen, thank you both.
You bet. Thanks, Trace.